welcome back to Rivals on the Pitch. With you here is your favorite Arsenal supporter, Pat. I got my Tottenham frenemy here, Alan.
How's it going?
My buddy, Randy, supporting Liverpool. We got an exciting episode for you today. We're going to be going over the last match week, which happened midweek. We had some FA Cup stuff happening, and then we're currently in the middle of Champions League and Europa. I won't leave anybody out, but
you should.
Seems like first place is all but wrapped up, but there's still plenty of lucrative Champions League spots. But it looks like nobody wants it bad enough. We got some Europa spots available. Cups are still up for grab. There will be new winners this season. Actually, yeah, there might be new winners this season. Lots to talk about.
Yeah.
How are you
so
guys
much
doing?
And so little. All right. Kind of just want to hit fast forward a little bit on this season, but excited.
Yeah, I'm ready to hit that reset button.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I on the other hand want to let this ride out
for everyone. I think we should just forget this one. Scrap it, right?
It's an asterisk season,
Asterisk.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Everyone has weird things happening.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Wow.
If every horse in the race
you see,
gets
guys,
hurt,
this is what I have to
do you
put
really
up
win?
with.
Are you really a winner if every horse in the race gets hurt?
Right?
No.
They're all injured. They're all limping to the race line.
Yeah.
Whose fault's that? The trainer. What you gonna say? The horseshoe was too tight. It was too loose. The field was too muddy. Come on, guys. A win's a win. It's not my fault your horse got two left feet, hoofs, whatever it is.
Who's this?
Yeah. Yeah, your horse has 3 legs.
Wait, they all have 2 left feet. And they have 2 right ones.
Yeah, they do.
Well, if they're standing up, or whatever. You can edit that. Wow.
My
Okay,
horse
Seabiscuit's in the building.
Yeah, that's Ipswich right there. So yeah, let's start it up. There's a couple decent games last week. I think there was a couple games that could have been up for grabs for highlight game of the week, highlight week of the game. So let's dive right in. So we started this on Tuesday. Chelsea get back on form with a 4-0 win over Southampton. Then we had 2 teams that we've praised a lot this season. Wolves at home, and they lose to Fulham. And Cunha loses his head. Did you guys hear about this?
This was during
No,
the
that
FA.
was in the
that was in the FA Cup. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. But
Still, I mean, this isn't
he's
the
a little
first time.
hot-headed. Yeah, he's a little hot-headed. I've
Does this
noticed.
bring the price tag down a little bit?
Maybe, because, right before he signed that contract, remember the incident he had with Ipswich?
The coaching staff too. Yeah, it was the coaching staff.
Yeah, where he grabbed the glasses, and once again, that's a big deal with people that wear glasses.
Yeah.
They know.
Getting
But
bullied.
and then not signing that contract and then signing it. Like, what do you is he very emotionally driven? Can he be? Can
Doesn't
you
seem
get to him?
intentional. It doesn't seem intentional. I mean, he proudly signed that contract renewal.
I
No,
think
I know,
he just
but I'm
is
saying-
the type of player who's, like you said, he's emotional. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and he tries to give it all. And sometimes, he lets his emotions get the better of him. And
So, as an opponent, I'm like, okay, well, let's go rile him up, because if we rile him up, we get him out the game. So,
Yeah, exactly.
is
Easy
that something
target.
you consider? I don't know.
Easy target. Yep. I don't know. I'm gonna look out for, but decent game. Yeah, and it's a decent game, but I just see it looks like Wolves are not going to turn this around. At least it does not seem like it. They might save themselves from relegation, but it doesn't look like.
so
they're
that's a
gonna
big
get around.
turnaround for them regardless. That's, I think, was the main objective after seeing how the season was starting and going. I think
they're
that's a
only
win
5
for
points
them.
clear.
Yeah, but they
It's like 10.
they're in a better position than they were before. You can see they can
Yeah.
win games. They at least have a cushion. But they're safe for now. I think those 3 are just set in stone. they're going back down.
Yep. Then we have Crystal Palace smash Aston Villa 4-1. Is this? Are they focusing in on the Champions League only? What's going on here?
Like I said, they've been inconsistent even with their new signings. They'll probably pick it up. I mean, Asensio, he has gotten a few goals. I think, what is it, 4-2?
Yeah,
But I mean, look at these results.
yeah, they come and go.
It's good for us because this is what we need. Like I said, it's been a weird season, so we just got to keep at it because any teams aren't doing great, but just have to take advantage of it. You know, we can't just be in the same boat as them.
Exactly. We also had Brighton beat Bournemouth 2-1. Bournemouth, like I said, it looks like no one wants these European spots. They're all kind of shying away from it, but another win for Brighton. Then we move on to Wednesday. We had Liverpool at home hosting Newcastle.
Ooh, I bet you guys weren't happy with that result. Of course,
Yeah.
Liverpool winning. I know you guys are going to be saying suspect and all that stuff because Isaac was out. Whatever, injuries are part of the game. It was before us, but I think maybe they're trying to save him for the Carabao Cup final. But it was a good showing from Liverpool. You know, the players that needed to show up showed up. Salah, of course, being a facilitator again. Dominic Szoboszlai getting with the goal. McAllister, basically it was a full midfield showing. Luis Diaz showing again why he's a difference maker. He has a good game. He was on a little bit of a downward spiral or whatever. He wasn't on his best these couple games, but this is what matters: is getting the win when you need to get need to get the win, especially because I know Arsenal fans are still hopeful, but whatever can add more pressure to them and give us as far we have a 13-point lead, but Arsenal have a game in hand. But this is what we need to do to keep the lead and to secure the title. But it was a good showing from Liverpool, expected when you're playing at home, and it was a good game.
I said all these wins and doing well in the league, in the Champions League, but in the Carabao Cup, one of the finals. But why hasn't anybody signed yet? Why is everybody talking about all these exits?
But I mean,
what's going on?
The players aren't exactly, fresh, right? So maybe they're just looking to end on a good note.
The thing is, a lot of what they're saying is, there's a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes. Virgil van Dijk even said, everything is going well. You guys will know at the very end. Everyone is just focused on this season. But for me, I think Virgil and Salah will be re-signed. I just think Trent Alexander, I think he's most likely going to go to Real Madrid. I just see that happening. I think it could be like a 60-40. I feel like, but it's mostly looking for Madrid. But I would like it for him to stay. But I just think Virgil is so important to our back core, to the back four. His leadership, his experience, he's very vocal. I think that would be a huge loss for us. And still, as a defender, he's still putting up good numbers. He's still in the top three in his position. Salah, 32. He has played every game. I know people would get tired legs, but he doesn't seem to get tired legs. He keeps on breaking records. He feels like he's going to break that 2020 mark with all these games we have left. But I just think most of that stuff is they're just focused right now on the season. They don't want this drama to affect the team. They're just focused on one thing. They will have time to.
They don't want. They will
have time. Yeah, they'll have the time to do it. Right now, I know everyone wants the bottle, so I guess they're trying to put all these things into these players' heads. Right now, they're just focused. I respect that, but then again, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I know there's a lot of rumors saying that yes and no, and stuff like that. But even Mo Salah, I think he learned from his mistake about being vocal, about talking about the contract in interviews. So I think they're just keeping it hush hush. It's like if we have something, we'll let you know. Even Slot is the exact same way. So when there's something, we'll announce it. But I think at the moment, I do feel that two of them will sign. Trent is the one who, like I said, is up in the air. But like I said, we still got plenty of
Do
season
they-
to go.
Do they still want him? Because didn't he just break the record for most dispossessed in a game in the
The
Premier
thing
League?
is, that's a tough thing. Like for me, I like Trent. I feel it wouldn't be that big of a loss. Yes. The thing is, I look at it is he's a right back. Right back. Right back is a defensive position. You have to be defender. You have to defend. You look at some of the greats. I mean, like Danny Alves from or whatever from Roberto Carlos. No, no, for some good right backs. They could defend and they can attack. Yes, Trent is a right back. If he doesn't want to defend, then he should move up. He should, maybe go to a midfield position, right in midfield, or something. But I don't. His biggest weakness is the right back, and it's. I love it that the team sticks up for him and helps him cover, but your players are getting out of position. That shows that you don't have faith in them, and I just think it's a big loss. We're gonna miss his free kicks, his passes, his crosses, and stuff like that. But defensively, he what kills us. But I do think if he does ends up going, we do have a good replacement in Connor Bradley, who's a young kid from the academy who's done well and is when asked to play right back. But I mean, for me, he's a local boy. He wants to be a club legend like Gerard. But I just think Real Madrid, when Real Madrid comes knocking, most of you guys are going to say yes. Depends how much money and how much pride you have in the club. I just see him going, but his defending, I don't know if it will get better over there. I think that's his biggest weakness. So I don't know if it would be a loss or so, but it's just hard seeing a boyhood, an academy player leave.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see if anybody even stays.
We'll see.
Looks like nobody wants to stay.
All right. And moving on to Spurs at home hosting Manchester City in the game that everyone knew that they thought they could predict.
I think nobody was staying in the stadium. Talk about no one staying for Liverpool. I think all your fans left. See if,
Why?
Seeing another loss.
No.
How many losses is that
everybody,
already this season?
It was still nobody left. Nobody left. This is a game of two halves. Obviously, the first half, one Erling Haaland goal, and then after that, Spurs pretty much owned the rest of the game. Quite unlucky. It got to a point where we saw those misses, and we were like, you know what? We know some of the misses we had. It's kind of like those that like indicator, like, okay, nothing's going in tonight. And at that point, we me personally, I was like, yeah, it's one of those nights where nothing's going, past that net. And we had a few chances, just didn't make it. But I was really proud of the team in the second half. But it's like I said, we're at this point, we're kind of a little numb. But a lot of people want to question the starting 11, but you're kind of trying to, and just kind of trying to sit some players out finally, give them some finally time to sit some games, and we have Europe coming up. So I think the league has taken a back seat, and rightfully so. I mean, if we want,
he's got to get a title somewhere.
Yeah, he's got to win something. So yeah. I get it.
I mean, exactly. I mean, why not? Why not? What are we going to get out of this? Just Europe for next year when you can go for Europe and a title, or and some silverware in the same shot. So I was a little disappointed because I felt like we could have came out with at least a draw out of this game, if not the win. But it
looks pretty even from the stats. I didn't get to watch it, but it looks even.
Yeah.
6 shots on target for Spurs, 5 for City, 11 overall for Spurs, 12 for City, and then 55 to 44 possession. That's even as well. Touches look even. Clearances. You got more corners, it looks like, but I mean, there's only one corner king in this league.
Oh gosh.
And you see how far that gets them.
So just turning the page, Alan.
Yeah, it's like I said, and what we mentioned in the beginning of this episode, we kind of want to hit that reset button. I mean, you guys, Arsenal, I think shouldn't, but for us, Yeah, it's one of those like, all right, let's get over with. Let's get into the summer. Let's get into that transfer window. Let's see what's gonna happen. And I'm ready for match week 1 of 2025.
Nice. All right. Then we move on to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you got to wait though a little longer though for that. So you still could be a lot more punishment coming your way.
Nah, I think the rest of the season is gonna be good for us.
Yeah, I don't expect it to be any worse.
No, there's only one way up. There's only one way. One direction.
It only can get worse based on what happens in the Europa League.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. No, regardless.
Imagine we're the deciding factor if we beat Liverpool or not.
What? What deciding factor?
You'll see.
Okay, we'll get into it. Then we had Nottingham Forest at home hosting Arsenal. Nottingham Forest still very high up in the table, still lots to play for. Arsenal dominated the game, but again, with basically no options, no backup plans up top attacking. This is something that was expected, right? It happened even from the Leicester game that we won. Marino coming off the bench, scoring 2 goals. I think at that point, Leicester was willing to give anything to try to get the win, and we were able to capitalize on them basically coming out from that low block for just the last 10 minutes of the game. But I think I mentioned it. I think it was just me and Randy on that episode. I mentioned that I said that's not going to be the answer for every game, and then we come across West Ham and we concede one and aren't able to put another game where we had most of the possession, shots, chances created, but couldn't get in the back of the net. Like I said, it's explainable, right? Just no real threats. And then we come into this game expecting much of the same, and that's exactly what we got. I think at least a point away to Nottingham Forest is decent considering the position that they are. We're direct rivals for that top 4 spot. We still want to, if we're not winning the league, we still want to get as high as we can. And with that second still being the spot, this was a direct game, and it definitely didn't hurt us to give them all 3 points. So I'll take it, but these are the cards we're dealt, and that's how it's got to be. You know what I mean? All these teams that play low blocks against us, they know that they can get away with it. If we look at today, Arsenal beat PSV in the Champions League away from home 7-1. And that just goes to show what happens when teams don't play that low block. Then it allows our creative players to do what they can. And then at that point, any player is able to score, right? You had Rice scored essentially 2, but they were both called offside. But we had Marino, Waneri, Odegaard, Trossard. Like, the goals were coming from everywhere because they were willing to attack us, and then we exploited that space that they give us. But in the Premier League, as you know, you don't get that much. A lot of teams low block you when you're, a well-known attacking team, like Tottenham, like Liverpool, Arsenal, City. Like, half of the league is going to low block you. So not much you can do about it now, windows closed. So, but like I said, it's just chugging on, take it game by game.
The struggle bus, choo choo.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, the good thing is that, like, unlike Tottenham, we didn't lose our back line. We lost our front line. So defense, we can still control games. So like I said, now it's about finding new ways to put in the back of the net. If we have to come back to try and get those set pieces refreshed, then that's going to have to be it, but we'll see.
We last episode we had mentioned I know I talked about why not, if I was an Arsenal supporter, I wish something would have happened in the transfer window, whether, be loan or mostly a loan, because he had mentioned getting the right person that fits the system, but even just a short-term solution as far as a loan to just a possibility of it working out. And giving your, improving your odds to fight for the, the title. How do you feel about that? Like, what do you truly stand by your statement of if it's not the right person, it's not the right person? Or do you think you wish they would have made something happen, whether it was a loan or a cheap option?
But then again, I just want to say, we talk about the right person, but it might be the right person on paper. But when they get into the team, it can't be it probably won't transition as well, or it could be a total flop. Like,
okay, but at least you tried, right?
Yeah.
I just think like let's take Postecoglou for example. Like, I don't want to say it's a fluke, but the card that he was dealt regarding all these injuries, you could say it's his fault or not, the way he plays, whatever. But the thing is that he had to deal with what happened at Tottenham during the season. So he came under a lot of criticism, right? So I think that Arteta also has to basically deal with the same thing. What if he does get the right player for the right amount of money and then it doesn't work out? Then all the criticism goes down, well, why is it not working? If we get just anybody for the sake of getting somebody in, if it doesn't work out, it's going to be criticism. So why not just try to do the right thing? Like I said, if the right player wasn't there...
What is the right thing?
Well, the right thing was going after players that could help us in the long run. So, like I said, Ollie Watkins was his target that we were probably should have signed maybe in the summer. Didn't happen. He wasn't available because Villa were looking to let go of Duran in the summer to West Ham, which didn't happen in the end. But that kind of stopped things. Gyökeres was getting Champions League, didn't want to leave. We tried for Sesko. He signed a new contract at Leipzig. Bladovic said he wasn't available either. So we tried different things of the players that were targets of Arteta and the board, and it didn't happen. So at this point, it's like putting a Band-Aid on something, but you don't know if it's going to stop the bleeding. You know what I mean? So I don't think Arsenal are willing... But that's what I'm saying. I don't think Arsenal are willing to just have somebody that's not going to click with the squad. And our Arteta's thing is you have to mesh with the squad.
Okay, so then just leave a hole.
So what the thing is that we still had Kai Havertz at the time. We still had Saka and we still had Martinelli.
They got injured before. I mean, they still had time. I mean, they were trying to make a rush.
It was too late. This was the week before. But
it seems like Arteta's always too late with these things. When he gets players, he gets the wrong players.
Are they expecting
he's got
players back?
Sterling. Sterling. How well is Sterling doing?
Is Saliba the wrong player? Is Marino the wrong player? I mean, we can't knock him for one player that's here on a loan. So that's exactly what I'm saying. Is you're telling me to just pick up anybody just to fill up a hole while you're criticizing Sterling when we just got him in to fill up a hole. You know what I mean? And that's just one player out of so many players that have worked out. Calafiori scored today. Scored the winner against away at Wolves.
What winner? That was already. You're talking about Wolves?
Yeah, we scored today too, but yeah, like he scored the goal that got us back in at Manchester City. Like he gets no praise, but only the criticism of one player that's basically 30 years old.
I'm not criticizing.
There's a bunch of players that he's gotten wrong that hasn't worked out.
Well, I'm mostly playing. It takes a lot to build a squad. I mean, how many players did Klopp get wrong before he won anything?
I'm not trying to criticize him. I'm just trying to see it as a fan's perspective, playing devil's advocate. Like
I just don't think it was his fault. I think it was the board's fault for not pulling the trigger. You know,
I'm not talking about Arteta. I'm not putting the blame on him. I'm just seeing as a fan, wouldn't you want to see someone at least come in? You know,
when you look at Aston Villa, what they did, it's like they could have done. You see Aston Villa making these moves, you're like, wow, Arsenal could have done something like that too. You guys were mentioned with Rashford.
But maybe he didn't want to go to a rival club. I don't know. You don't know why that didn't happen, and maybe we couldn't cover his wages. Like the only reason we took Sterling in is because Chelsea's basically paying 3/4 of his wages.
I'm not arguing because I don't mind that they didn't bring anyone in. You know, good for me. Yeah. You know, like, but I just think if I was a fan, not that I don't want to see my club be in debt. I wouldn't want to see an expensive signing. Of course, I don't want a Hail Mary on someone and pay wages that are too high, pay a transfer fee that's too high. But I mean, there's a lot of lower leagues that you're in a Champions League, you're fighting for a possible title that has to have some merit to it to be able to attract some sort of talent that you could sign, maybe if it's short term with the possibility of buying. But like I said, I do understand the whole not getting the right player could be detrimental in the long term, right? So I was just thinking, like, are you okay with what happened, and it's all good? Like, that was the right decision.
I think you're right. There had to been a backup to the backup plan, or you know what I mean. I get it. The first plan doesn't work. Backup plan isn't always there, but I just look at so many signings that he has already brought on that are making a difference this season. That takes a lot. So I think sometimes you also got to look at the signings that you don't make that end up working out. We got Rice over Caicedo, and then the season that we had Rice, Caicedo was terrible. Caicedo was better now, but you can see his form starting to drop. Then you look at the Mudryk deal. We didn't want to pay the money that they were asking of us, and Chelsea basically got clowned out of it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, they got
you
scammed.
got to look at the signings that you don't make also. And like I said, it looks like we're going to have to sell players again in order to bring a striker of quality. So that just goes to show, like, why would you spend that money now on a Band-Aid instead of trying to go for the real deal in the summer? At the time, like I
You're
said,
gonna have to sell players. Who are you gonna sell?
They're gonna Martinelli, the one that you guys were praising highly about.
yeah,
No,
I
I heard
think,
he's being considered
Mbappe's replacement.
going.
yeah, I mean, could be Trossard, could be Martinelli. I know Sinchenko's on his way out. Tierney wasn't even supposed to play a game this season, and he's played multiple now. He's played as a winger, even though he's a defender. I mean, so those two are definitely going. I don't know if Reece Nelson, who's currently at Fulham, currently injured, but I think he's probably on his way out, if I had to assume. I know Tomiyasu, someone who's been injury prone, so could be looking to offload him. In the midfield, who knows if they're... I have heard Partey or Jorginho might be on the way out, one or the other. Depends what we're looking at if we get Zubimendi in the summer. So yeah, so like I said, if that's the cards, he's... and at the time too, like, we currently don't have a sporting director. I don't know if you guys remember, like, a couple months back.
Yeah, I know you've been.
I don't know these.
Yeah.
So if there's no one there whose job it is to find these people, like, it makes it even harder too. You know what I mean? I'm sure Arteta has his targets, but there's no one there to say, "Hey, let's give this a try instead." You know what I mean? Oh, this is the kind of profile you're looking for. Why don't we give this
Football Manager?
So yeah, but the thing is, okay, you mentioned Zubimendi. Is there going to be enough money for the striker you need? Because, like you even mentioned, you guys aren't really the best team when it comes to selling players. What was, like, the highest you sold the player for?
Like 36, 35. That was Emil Smith Rowe. So yeah, we don't have a great track record,
So Zubimendi, he's going to be like maybe 50 or 60, whatever his release clause is, and then you think that's still going to leave you enough money to go after the star striker? I think you need a striker first, then Zubimendi.
No, I think so too, but I think he's on the card, so I'm sure they've accounted for that. You know what I mean? So I guess I'll have to wait and see. And that's why this is why coming in second makes a difference, because the higher you finish, the more money you get. This is why, making
Champions
it as
League.
far as we possibly can, even if we don't win the Champions League, even if we're not favorites, even if there's no way we could beat Real Madrid and then Liverpool after that and then Man City after that, like, making it as far as we possibly can, there's the money. You know what I mean? So so it makes a difference. People could sing the song like second again, to us all we want. That's fine. You know what I mean? I get it, banter.
Right, it's banter, right? But
at the same time, like, I'd rather be second than fourth,
yeah,
fifth.
exactly.
Yeah. So, like I said, we need the money. I think it makes sense to not spend it. Like I said, if we were to get Ollie Watkins for 80 million or something like that, that would have been a waste, because he might make a difference now, but would it make a difference to win the? Is that the person that wins us Champions League?
Why? What? Why not?
It could be,
because
that's the
he's
thing.
Could be,
It
but
could be.
Is
'Cause
80
he's
million
old?
on someone who's potentially going to be 30 years old next season?
So
But
30 years old.
he's Premier League proven, and
Is
that's
he? Because
what,
he's misfiring in the Champions League.
that's Champions League. We're talking about the Premier League.
That's
though.
what we're trying to win. We're trying to win Champions League or Premier League. You know what I mean? Because
Do you guys know
what?
that 35 is now mid-age?
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, so we still got plenty of years before we reach that. Remember, we're still in our
10 more
20s.
years.
That's true,
10
that's
more
true.
years.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I don't know why you bring
Middle age,
that fact up, Alan. right?
35
anyway.
birthdays to get to 25. That's crazy.
You're 1 year old. But yeah, like I said, I'm disappointed. Yeah, I'm totally disappointed. I think I am mad because I'm like, look at the situation we're in now. Like maybe we didn't need it January 1st. Maybe we didn't need a signing desperately. Maybe we could have scraped by. Maybe we could have given Liverpool a bigger fight. But the reality is that everything happens so fast, and then you know how it is. Like, you know, sometimes when you come down to a week before, players aren't willing to leave. Clubs aren't willing to negotiate.
Exactly. I just the only reason I bring it up again is because, you know, you keep mentioning like other teams are just letting you have second because of the situation you're in. But it's like, imagine if you could have improved that situation, even if it was a little bit of a Hail Mary. I mean, you weren't getting rid of any players, so your team was still there. It was just a potential of bringing someone in. You know, if it's not someone that was on the big board, your number 1, 2, 3, or 4, you know, it was just a little bit of a Hail Mary to get, you know, someone out of, let's say,
bring a little excitement back to the team.
Netherlands or the Netherlands, the Holland League, you know.
I mean, like there has been some good January buys that have came in clutch and transformed the team. Like I was going to say, Liverpool with Virgil van Dijk, Alisson, and Luis Suarez. Like, you know, we got him from Ajax.
But those are too big. But those are too big. I'm talking about something like
Luis Suarez he was like a 30. I think it was like 25 or something.
Like a low risk, like a, I don't know,
like Lingard to West Ham.
Kind of like a low risk, low gamble potential. You know,
man, fucking you should have gone for Delap. They're gonna get relegated. Should have just gone out for him.
The thing is that
he was expensive. He was expensive.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think he's on loan as well. I believe
he is on loan from City. Yeah.
But
so that's the thing. Like, if I just don't know where we could have gone. I mean, striker
MLS, bro.
Let me not say anything. I don't want the Arsenal.
MLS.
I don't want the Arsenal organization listening to me talk and taking notes. So I'm gonna zip it up. I don't want to give them any good pointers.
Okay. All right. Good thing. We don't want to end up in where Spurs is on the table. So good.
Yeah, I don't want them. Stop taking notes. Copyright this. If I see them go out to the market and pick up someone low risk, I know.
All right. So we also have Manchester United at home hosting Ipswich, and they get a 3-2 win. Finally, a win for Amorim. But, you know, foreshadowing wasn't a turnaround game, unfortunately.
Nope.
We also had Brentford at home hosting Everton, which ends in a 1-1. And then we had West Ham at home hosting Leicester, and they get a 2-0 win. That's 2 wins in a row for West Ham. Looks like they might be turning things around, but probably not going to break into that European spot. Do you guys want to go over some FA Cup results? Just the shockers?
What's FA? United
knocked out Fulham on penalties.
And then that's where you got Cunha, who's that's where he got in trouble.
Red card for Cunha. Penalties again. I did watch this one. This was an exciting one. But the goal that Cunha scored, though, my God. Did you guys get to see that goal? Outside of the box. Curler. Oh, it was just a beauty.
I just got to see I just saw the WWE moment he turned heel. That was it.
Then we also had Newcastle against Brighton, and Brighton take all 2 points. Newcastle was winning this game, and Brighton turned it around. Goals from Danny Welbeck.
Yeah, he was.
That guy.
I remember he was starting real well in the beginning of the season. Then he died down a bit, but I think he's getting hot again.
Yep, he might break his 10-goal record this season. So let's hope he does that. You know, for the sake of leaving on a good note. He's obviously on the later end of his career. We had Nottingham Forest beat Ipswich Town on penalties as well. Man City beat Plymouth Argyle, even though Plymouth opened up the game with a goal.
Yeah, that would have been a fairy tale. That would have been the Leicester run type of thing going on.
Knocking out Liverpool and City. Ooh.
I know. And Plymouth was playing well, and then City made tons of changes. They brought in De Bruyne and all the heavy hitters, and then ended up taking up the game. But
they're $1 billion subs.
Yeah,
exactly.
Their one player cost the same salary as the whole team.
Yeah, same as Liverpool.
Then we had Crystal Palace beat Millwall, and then unfortunate incident there. Goalkeeper came out, kicked the ball, and just studs up to the head.
Mortal Kombat style
on Mateta.
That's awful because they're doing so good in the league too.
Yeah, Mateta's a big player for them.
Yep.
But hopefully recover soon. I know he's a listener, so get well soon, Mateta.
Get well soon after the season ends.
Right.
All right. Let's take a look at next week's games real quick.
Yep.
So next week, match week 27, I believe.
28.
28 out of 38. So we have 10
more games.
Match weeks left. 10. Only 10. We start off on Saturday with Forest at home to Manchester City. Forest, who did beat Manchester City in the return leg of this. So this be a good game. Which
I would probably say would be my pick for the highlight game of the week.
Yeah.
But we can, there's plenty of go, but that's just my say.
All right.
For the moment.
We also have Brighton against Fulham. Should be a good one there too. We have a rematch between Crystal Palace and Ipswich. And then we move on. All these are 10 a.m. games, by the way. I always put all the games at 1 to 10. I hate that. But then we also have Liverpool at home hosting Southampton. Should be easy. I'm going to jinx it now. It should be pretty easy for Liverpool.
Yeah, I agree.
So when we have Brentford at home hosting Aston Villa. We'll see if they do anything against the Villains.
Give it to Brentford.
Yeah.
Especially at home. Yeah.
We'll see. Then we have our favorite team, Wolves, against Randy's favorite teams.
Yeah.
Randy's heartbroken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who to choose. It's a draw.
David
so
Moyes.
I don't get hurt.
So Cunha should be out for this one because it is an FA competition.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That he was red carded for. So we'll see if I'm going to have to say Everton for this one.
Yeah, I think Everton in fine form with David Moyes. I feel like they're going to pull it out.
We should have a David Moyes counter.
Why? See every time I say it? Bro, what? Oh, wow. Okay, get it. Whatever.
Yep. Then we have on Sunday at 10 a.m.
Wait.
Sorry, yeah.
You forgot one game.
Which one?
March 8th at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. The El Paso Locomotives season opener against Colorado Springs. I got my tickets.
You got your tickets for the Locomotive because the struggle bus is gone? Choo choo.
I'm actually kind of excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Didn't one of their players just get signed to a European team recently?
I could have sworn, you sent us
no, so there's Pepe Ricardo. He's
Pepe, yeah.
He's from here, from El Paso.
Oh yeah, PSV, right?
Yeah, PSV. He's hitting it up.
I think he's injured. And then Diego Luna, you might see him. He plays for in the MLS. He plays for.
Chris, when I saw him in some movies. All right, you can do that.
I think Real.
Real Salt Lake, yeah.
Yeah, I think he plays for them.
I just heard about I'm a Red Bulls fan here. So I just heard about one of the players that we had signed from the Brazilian second league last season, played for us this last season. And then in the off season, it was, MLS just started. In the off season, he was traded to Real Salt Lake, and he refused to go to training because he thought that Red Bulls had kind of mishandled the whole situation of his trade. But cool little side note here, how the contracts were so differently to basically every other league in the world, where when you sign an MLS contract, your contract is to the league and not to the team that you play for. So teams basically can trade you at will. You don't really have a say. You sign the contract to play in the league. So unless you get sent to another team in another league in another country, then that's when things come into play. But otherwise, your contract is with the league. So players get traded at will. Basically, sometimes they get traded for things that aren't other players or money
and stuff.
Sometimes they get traded for allocation spots for designated players, which are players that are allowed to have a bigger wage than the rest of the players. I think
that's funny how that works.
3. I think the reason for it is that no team can basically
be a super team,
and also it's supposed to promote growth from within the country in the league, so that you do play kids from your academy, etc., because they are likely to have a lesser wage bill. But yeah, interesting. And that's why Arsenal didn't sign anybody, because there's a contract thing. Yeah, you wouldn't understand.
Okay.
All right, so we move to Sunday. Chelsea at home hosting Leicester City. The Blues against the Blues. Is Jimmy Vardy going to be having a party?
Nah, I think the party's
Robert
done.
Sanchez is in the goal.
Yeah. I think they're picking the short stick to see who's going to be the goalkeeper for that team.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one there. I'm sure Kepa will want to stay far away after the season. And
speaking
of, Spurs at home against Bournemouth. What do we think?
I think it's going to be more misery for Spurs.
Kepa's going to be like, man, huh?
Yeah, why not? Everything that goes wrong for Spurs.
He said more misery for Spurs.
More misery.
I like to believe it's going to be...
You like to believe a lot of things, and you've been wrong most of the time.
It's going to be a revenge game. Don't worry about it.
All right. And then Sunday, last game of Sunday.
It's going to run back to Chelsea.
Oh, okay. Clip it.
He's going to get bullied.
Clip it.
Don't clip it.
What'd he say?
He said he's going to run back to Chelsea after this whooping.
Good luck.
Then we have Manchester United at home. Arsenal looking to crumble the remains of the Theater of Dreams. 12:30. What do you think?
I think
we're gonna misfire, or is United gonna do their own?
Harry Maguire with 2.
All goals.
I don't know. There's 2, but there's gonna be 2 of them. I don't know if they're gonna be own goals or.
Fernandes is gonna score a PK goal.
Fernandes.
Yes.
Fernandes. Bruno with a goal in the FA Cup, by the way. Unfortunately, didn't give them the big 3. But it looks like he's starting to play again. He's starting to play a little better. Sometimes I wonder, I'm like, is he playing better, or is the rest of the team playing worse? He's just standing out,
I think he's better when it comes to attacking position. When you got him in defensive position, look away.
We talked about it earlier in the season. We talked about his career and whether you think is somewhere where he's going to finish it, or do you think he looks elsewhere considering the position that United are in. He's kind of like their standout player, but I don't know. Maybe we'll bring it in the what if section later on. So let me just finish this up real quick. We had a Monday last game of match week. West Ham at home hosting Newcastle, who will be without Gordon after a red card, and West Ham after 2 wins in a row. Are they going to rest players for their cup? Or what are we seeing here?
I thought that red card was for the Carabao Cup. Oh, no, forget it. Continues. For the FA
I think
Cup,
it's a double, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
I thought it was for the cup.
Oh, maybe it is. Yep. But regardless, Newcastle, will have to make sure that they don't lose any players. Obviously, they did have to sit Isaac out already. That's the thing that scares me with him. Is like I've heard he's kind of injury prone.
I mean, he's almost like a Peter Crouch. I mean, he's like that type of tall player, but
yeah.
But that's the risk and reward. You see how much goals he's putting up.
Absolutely.
Then you see his injury record. Or is it worth it?
Let me work it.
Especially for the price tag. They're asking.
I'm flipping a reverse. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Alan got it. All right,
it wasn't funny.
You just showed your age.
Right?
I know.
There you go.
I know. Now people are gonna know I'm 28.
Yeah, he's on his Walkman.
Oh,
What? On the what? What's that?
he's 42. He can't hear you. What?
Eh. All right, so let's do a quick little section before we jump into predictions. Let's do a little something fun. So Alan has prepared all the what if questions that we're gonna play. Because I
What?
did not do any.
I sent
No.
you guys an email.
Oh, did you?
An email. Wow.
Yeah, and you guys
that?
were supposed to respond.
Fax it. Fax it.
What's an email?
Let's see here. All right, so
Okay.
real quick, let's do a little round of would you rather. A little bit,
Okay.
would you rather? We'll do it a Premier League Rivals edition.
Okay.
Sounds good.
First edition,
good.
because it's the first time.
Yeah.
And you guys, I thought I sent out a little.
Don't worry, I have
memo
some.
as per my email. Seeing if you guys would participate, but if you haven't,
I have some ready.
okay,
I'm not leaving you
Well,
standing.
I'll start it off. I'll
Okay.
do
Start off.
I'll do an easy one.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Would you rather win the league or win the Champions League?
Oh, so this is a context one. Because it's different context for Randy and I.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It depends
That's
on the
true.
team.
Yeah.
So are you
if
talking
you've-
about this season specifically or in general?
In general.
Okay, in general. In general,
No, I
would
think we should do
say-
this season. We should do this
Yeah,
season because this season is more important.
We're
This
still
is
both up for
No,
it.
no.
Yeah.
This
You
is
can
just
only
in
win
general. No,
Okay.
it's just in general.
Okay,
It's
okay.
the seasons. Everyone's nil.
Okay. Start of the
Even-
season, fresh. You win one. Which one do you prefer?
Yep.
I say as an Arsenal fan, Champions League because it was the
Okay.
one we don't have.
that's what I was gonna say. That's why I think that question pertains more to for Arsenal, like because that's the one that eludes them.
Well, which one do you prefer?
Well,
Randy?
yeah,
Because if you win the Premier League, I think you take over United and domestic cups. But if you do Champions League, I think you also then.
We're already.
cover
I
it.
mean, we're already the. I think we're already the top English team in Europe altogether. Anyways, so I feel more important. What I think would be for the Premier League.
So you
Just
go for
because,
Premier League.
I think Premier League is more important for us because we had that big gap for like 30 years where we're not winning anything, and then to win it with Jurgen Klopp and then win it again, I think that would be a good showing because everyone's tired of seeing Man City, Man City, Man City. I think
I'm not.
Premier League.
I would go Champions League, especially because if we can win it before Arsenal, that'd be great. That would be what we have to hold on to.
Yeah, to be your own.
All right. Do you want to go, Randy, or you want me to do another one?
Yeah, I have mine. Mine would be. This is. All right, this is going to be like for Pat for Arsenal.
Okay,
Who would you
all right.
rather take? Would you take Ange or Slot as a head coach? And then for Alan, who would you rather take? Would you take Arteta or Slot? And then
Or.
it would be for me would be Ange or Arteta.
Or give me
Shoot.
or.
No, it's our rival teams. It's our rival team.
I think you know what? This is hard because I actually do enjoy the way Ange plays like what I've seen from Spurs. Like that's exciting football. You know what I mean? What I see from Liverpool with Slot to me isn't a ton different from what Klopp was doing. Like it seems to me like Liverpool just loves to hit teams on the counter. Most of their goals from Salah come that way because he knows if he can get to the ball first and he can just only have one defender on him, like he's golden, right? So I feel like there's a lot of different styles that could suit Liverpool. Like if Ange was managing Liverpool, I feel like they would be where they are right now still. So I kind of just want to. I would like to see. I don't want to say I prefer Postecoglou, but I feel like I would like to see what Arsenal looks like with Postecoglou's style. Just curious, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Alan, what about you and your Spurs? Who would you choose?
I would actually. The only reason I would choose this person is because we were actually linked with them, and what worries me is I don't know what he's gonna do with his own team. I think it's a little premature. Even if he wins the league, it's a little premature to say what kind of manager he's going to be. But I might go with Slot just because I would like to see how he would have ran this team if we would have picked him up when we were linked with him. But if that wasn't the case, I probably would have gone with Arteta because I think he is proven. As much as I hate to say this, he's been proven in the league, and he did turn around an organization. So, but we were linked with Slot. I didn't mind that decision, but so I would
but
like
now
to see
seeing it now, you'd be like, "Fuck, we should have gone with Slot."
No, because like I said, you guys haven't made
because of the team he came into.
Signings. I don't know what you guys are gonna look like next season.
Yeah, I'm curious too.
When he starts bringing his own players, what's gonna happen?
Based on the rumors I've seen, they look promising. But yeah, that's another story. But for me, I agree with Pat. I sort of like what Ange has done with Spurs, and I think I would like to see that done with Liverpool.
Guys, get off our managers.
Because nobody wants Arteta.
I mean, I prefer Arteta still every single day, but that was a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, it puts a little pressure. Now it's like, fuck, now Alan gets it in his head. Oh, yep, they all, Ange.
Yep. Gosh. Leave him alone. You got one, Pat, or you want me going? You didn't do your homework. Wow.
I do have one for you, Alan.
Okay.
I do have one for you. All right, so I'm going to give you the scenario for Tottenham, okay?
All right.
You win the Europa League. Yeah? But winning the Europa League means that Arsenal win the Champions League. Do you take it or do you give up the Europa League?
Give it up. There's always next season. No way. No way. I said it earlier. That was going to be our claim to fame. If we can win it before Arsenal, that's what we have. So and that we will always have that.
You would not take a European trophy for the sake of not making sure.
Yeah, we've been living with that one for so long. We could do it another year.
I'm starting to think Son missed on purpose last season.
I mean, where's your title?
All right. So
funny enough. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I was gonna go into the next one because it kind of ties into it. Would you rather? I tried getting some numbers that would entice you. Would you rather win a quadruple and then have a 15-year drought, or win 6 domestic cups scattered around in 10 years? Like within 10 years, you kind of win some domestic cups in there.
Just the domestics, nothing, no Premier League, just
no Premier
Carabao
League
and Community Shield, FA Cup.
And FA Cup, that's it.
I take the quadruple.
Quadruple is very rare. It's
It's only been done once, right?
All right. A treble.
I think
let's do a treble.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a quadruple has been done. Trebles have been done by Man City and Man U.
A treble in 15, and then have a 15-year drought, or 6 domestic cups within the span of 10 years.
I would take the treble because you take a drought, but
you could doesn't for like 10 years.
That's true.
Yeah, like them with their Invincibles trophy. But I just like then.
But you end up winning more cups.
But
within 10 years,
it's history.
Yeah, that's true.
But you said, okay, we don't win anything in 15 years, but you can still be in second place, third place, make it close. That's how I'm seeing it as well. It's not saying, okay, we won the treble and then we're just in the mid tables. I still see we're challenging. So it's at least if you're still in Champions League, making good runs and falling short is okay as long as you still got that history making treble.
Okay. Next one.
Let me give one to Randy because I gave one to you. All right, Randy. Here's what it is.
And that's an episode, guys.
All right. You win the league and the Champions League this year, but Salah and Van Dijk go to City next season. Or you lose them both, but they both stay.
I think I've seen a video on that. I believe that I would rather lose the titles, and we'll make the run next year.
Remember, people are going to say you bottled it to Arsenal.
Who said Arsenal was going to win?
Oh, you didn't say anything about Arsenal. Maybe Nottingham Forest, but no. Yeah, I rather would lose both. I would rather lose the title and keep them as players, and we'll make the run next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. All right, Alan, go ahead.
All right, next one. Would you rather lose a club legend actively playing on your team to a rival team, or watch your team win back-to-back trophies?
Wait, say it again? Say it again?
Lose a club legend?
Would you rather lose a club legend to a rival team, so let's say Saka comes to Tottenham, or would you rather just watch Tottenham win back-to-back leagues?
Oh, jeez.
The thing is, it's weird because I'm not trying to downplay anything. I mean, Saka isn't a legend yet. I don't think there's anyone on Liverpool.
He's one of our own, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, he hasn't. How long has he been playing? Like legend. When I'm thinking of legend, I'm thinking of like Henry, or
okay. So take that for example. He said just like a legend, you know.
Okay.
So let's say that. So let's say, like for example, for Liverpool, Salah goes to United and then wins double.
Oh, I was just gonna say like Gerrard, because he was rumored to go to Chelsea because Mourinho wanted him. I think that would have been fucking terrible.
But they don't. It's not that they necessarily win. They just go to your rival team, or would you just rather watch the rival team win without them? You keep
honestly.
It's a club legend. I would prefer. There's other things we can win. I would rather keep the club legend.
Me too. Yeah. I'd rather just watch them win it. Whatever. We'll get one.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, club legend. Those are probably the reasons we got into that team, and then
that's true.
That would be a hard loss.
All right, next one. This would you rather? All right, let me set it up. You're tied to a chair, and someone.
Oh, this one's hot.
Someone has a gun to your head. If this person misses, you are DED, dude. Would you rather have the worst Darwin Nunez or the worst Timo Werner taking the shot?
Wait, if there's a gun to your head, there's basically point range. You should maybe say like at a shooting range instead.
If they make it, you're good. Let's not say the word gun. Maybe we'll get canceled. But
that's what I'm thinking.
Your life depends on it if they make it. Who would you rather have? Who are you betting on?
I feel like
I would pick Nunez over Timo Werner.
It was nice knowing you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm taking Timo.
I'm taking Timo. I think I don't know though. No, I'm taking Timo.
Doesn't matter.
Someone called him Timu.
What do they call him?
Timu, like
well, you got the cheap version.
Yeah.
Damn.
I got a few more.
Okay.
Want to keep going?
Go.
All right.
Yeah.
Would you rather your national country, so Chile, Ecuador, or Colombia, win the World Cup, or have your favorite club team win the Champions League?
I'm going World Cup, man. That's top.
World Cup is top.
Yeah, I mean it's hard enough to get to the World Cup, and to win it would be why not? That'd be great. It happens every 4 years, so it's harder. It's the season's every year, so you have chances, but once every 4 years.
Yeah,
I got one for Alan in this Tottenham.
All right.
Would you rather see Harry Kane get signed this summer for Arsenal, and win the league, or watch Ange Postecoglou get Tottenham relegated?
Let's win that championship. Let's wreck. We'll wreck that league in that stadium. I don't care.
With all your high schoolers?
Yeah, that's where they all came from.
Basically, yeah.
I can't do it. I can't. I feel like the amount of grief we would get. Like we already get enough when Emerson Royale won a trophy with AC Milan. What do you think is going to happen if Harry Kane wins it with Arsenal? Oh God,
in the Premier League,
that would be awful.
Yeah,
that would be crazy.
Would you rather have a poor keeper, a poor goalkeeper, or a poor keeper or a poor striker?
poor striker because you still got wingers.
Yeah.
A keeper can keep you in the game.
Yeah.
You got I'd go with the poor striker as well.
Okay. All right, I got two more. Or should we save them?
Oh.
Let's do another one.
All right.
Let's
all right. Would you rather buy a 170 million player or sell a player for 170 mil?
Show me the money.
Rather sell.
Yeah, me too. Because you could buy multiple players.
Yeah, you can buy. Some people can come in from the academy. I mean, you can.
But imagine who you can get for 170. You're talking like
but they're not guaranteed. Look at Neymar.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I feel you can buy some diamonds in the rough. A couple with that type of money.
Yeah,
you can build a good squad, good midfield, good defense. You can get one of each thing, one of each position.
Like if I'm thinking about it, like if like Real Madrid came right now for Saliba 100 million, I don't know if I would say yes. Or Saka. Like if Barca came and was like, all right, we want Saka 100 mil here, cash. I don't know if I would. I'd rather spend the money actually.
So 170? What you want to give up for 170?
Fuck. Oh, sorry. No, too important.
Wow. Too important. All right, so here's the money. You go shopping.
Yeah. For you can have Havertz for 170.
God, no one's gonna ask him for 170.
Champions League winner. Come on, World Cup winner.
Okay.
All right.
But then again, you're paying for potential. Maybe he goes to Real Madrid or Barcelona and he flops. That's the thing. You never know with these types of things.
All right, I got one for Randy. I would
rather sell. Oh.
All right. So as we know, Liverpool are one of the most successful teams in England. They have many top.
Can you say that again? I think I got cut off.
Nope. They do have many top flight titles, but since the Premier League in the late 90s, they have only won one Premier League, and that was their COVID Premier League. Okay? So you following so far?
Well, that
Randy.
Was yes, okay, whatever.
Would you give up your one Premier League to win the Champions League against Real Madrid, the one that you guys lost? Was it the same year or the year before?
No, I think it was maybe a year before.
No, it was before because you guys won the Champions League against Tottenham before you won the Premier League.
Yeah, we won Champions League first and then the Premier League.
So would you give up that one Premier League title, the COVID one?
No,
because I remember saying when you guys had won the Champions League, but then when you were about to win the Premier League, there was a close one, Manchester City. I think if it wasn't for that one, Man City would have had seven in a row.
We were just one point off of two titles.
Yeah.
And then with Brendan Rodgers, the slip with Gerrard, that could have been three right there. But I just think based on history, the drought of the Premier League, I believe I wouldn't trade the COVID, even though it was unfortunate circumstances. It ended the drought. I wouldn't trade that.
Would you trade the Champions League against Tottenham to win the one against Real?
Yeah, because that's much better. Spurs.
He said that he's like, oh, it was a win before we walked out.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was.
Wow.
I just think that's why. I mean, if we're getting into the Champions League, just the segue. Yeah, if Real Madrid does beats what's it called, Atletico Madrid, and then if they go beat Arsenal, and then it's Liverpool beats PSG, I think that would be. I hopefully we win. That would be a nice little revenge, then to go to the finals. But I just think a victory over Real Madrid would be fine. Would be is needed. I mean, we did it during this new format in the Champions League, but we did it at home. But to do it when in the pour-in, when it's a knockout stage, I think it'll be better. But yeah, I wouldn't trade the Premier League for that. I think the Premier League meant more.
It means more, Alan. Don't you get it?
Alan doesn't get anything.
All right, let's do one more.
All right.
I was gonna say one. Which out of your rivals, like Liverpool have Man City and like Manchester United, Arsenal has Spurs and Chelsea. Which one would you rather have win the title?
Chelsea, because they've already won it.
Yeah,
so
Chelsea.
What's
same.
another one, right? What's another one, right?
Yeah, it's true. But I just know it's just the fact that it's like, oh, fuck. It's like picking which poison. Regardless, you're going to be pissed off.
If neither had the Premier League, I would still say Chelsea, though, just because they're in West London, Tottenham. We're right there, you know what I mean? We're neighbors.
Yeah.
I think like Chelsea has like this, but they have this fame because of recently winning so much. Yeah, just Chelsea.
I would probably just go Man City, just because you can't have it's between Man U and Liverpool and leading the
what about
titles.
Everton?
Yeah, what about Everton?
Ooh, let's be honest, they wouldn't. Under David Moyes, you got the count going. How many times I say David Moyes?
All right. Yeah, it's all right. I get it. So you would
regardless, you'll be pissed off.
So you would prefer Man United win the cup over Everton if you had to see one of them win?
I would rather pick Everton. It would be good for the city of Liverpool in general. Man United. We can't let them have our number. We have to be better on them because they're the ones who caught up to us. We just can't let them afford to surpass us.
When we start doing videos, we're gonna have to send Randy reminders like, "Hey, we're red. We're red."
Wow.
Remember, you support Liverpool on the podcast.
Of course, I do
David
support
Moyes.
Liverpool. Because you guys are tired of me here saying Slot and Liverpool because they're gonna win the title. I gotta mix it up a bit.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Whoa. Let's do one last one to wrap it up.
Okay.
Would you rather go 38 draws, quote unquote, undefeated, or finish between second and fourth position in the league?
Wait, what was the second part?
You go 38 draws, so you're quote unquote undefeated, or you get yourself a Champions League spot, which is but not first, it's second through fourth.
Okay, how many games is it? 38 games in a season, right?
Yeah.
So 38 points.
So right now you would be 11th.
Yeah, 38 points. No, I'd rather get Champions League second.
Yeah,
I don't care about
Hey, but you're undefeated. You're undefeated.
That doesn't mean shit.
Okay.
It looks good on paper, undefeated, but when you see the tally of points, it
I feel like
doesn't make
know where
sense.
this one came from.
So you're not invincible?
Man, that was a good one.
All right. All right, let's wrap it up. Let's move on to next week.
Predictions.
All right. So are we all in contention? Are we doing highlight game of the week, Nottingham Forest and Man City?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So, Randy, you got your Hello Kitty notebook?
Of course. Meow.
All right. I'll start it off. I am going to say that this is going to end in a 1-1 draw. Nottingham Forest 1, City 1. Alan.
I want Nottingham Forest to make a push, try to get, be a contender and knock out Liverpool. But I think City is going to take this one. I think this is a 2-1 victory for Man City.
You know what? Can I change mine?
Nope.
No,
I already wrote it in the book. Once it's in stone. I chiseled it into the rock.
Go ahead. Change it. What do you want to say?
I'm going to say 3-1 City. City's going to win it 3-1, actually.
Alan, now do you want to change your score? Do you want to change your score now too?
Give me 4 plus $1.
Is this a fucking auction?
What
agree
made you change?
With you guys.
What?
What made you change? Why'd you go from 1-1 to 3-1? That was dramatic.
Because he has an option. He at least gets a point if it's a win. If he gets a draw, that's why he's thinking.
Smart people. You listen to the smart people.
The
smart person said that, but he's in third place.
I just remember the last game they couldn't score on Arsenal, so I'm like, they're gonna have a hard time against City, and City's back in form. I mean, they beat the Kryptonite Tottenham, so I just think it's gonna go City's way. That's what made me change my mind. I had more time to think, All right, Randy.
I agree. I believe it's City is gonna win, but I feel I'll just go 0-3 for City.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't think Force is gonna score. Sorry, Chris Wood.
Oh. All right. So then we move on to Liverpool at home hosting Southampton.
I'm getting a point regardless because Liverpool is gonna win. By how much is the question?
Jinx it.
I've been jinxing it all season, bro, and look at where we're at. Number 1.
You lost to them last time.
Who'd you lose to, Alan? I think we only lost once. How many times did you lose in the season? Let me look it up. I have to go all the way down the table to look for it. 14. I wouldn't speak. I'm going to go 3-0.
All right.
We'll talk about how many players you're about to lose in the summer.
How many? Listen, you're hoping summer comes so it can be none.
All right, then we move on to Tottenham at home. It's Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Mountain Time, bright and early for Allen, and they'll be hosting Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Evan Nilsson is back.
Who?
Evan Nilsson.
Who?
The Brazilian striker. Yeah.
He knows. He's
I thought you were telling me that song, that band.
Pat, just do that.
We are going to do 2-0.
2-0, even though Evan Nelson's back.
2-0 Bournemouth?
Evan Nelson. Can't hear me because you're 42?
Evanescence isn't going to score. 2-0.
Evanescence.
They're going to bring me back to life? That's what they're going to do? All right. Yeah. 2-0 for the Spurs.
All right. Who scores?
Clean sheet. Tell is going to get on the scoreboard. And
Romero?
Sunny Boy.
All right.
Kulusevski's out. So.
Okay. Then we move on to Sunday. Manchester United at home.
Upset alert.
Yeah.
I'm calling it.
I'm going to say Arsenal are going to win this one 2-1.
Scoring.
2-1. Yeah, 2-1.
With the Harry Maguire goal.
Yeah.
Who's scoring? Oh, it's probably going to be an own goal. Yeah, you're right.
I'm going to say Waneri scores and
Saka?
And Trossard. Saka's not back yet, man.
I don't know. Maybe he'll be in there in a crutch because it's against Maguire.
Yeah, he has been going. Yeah, could probably do it.
Anybody can score against Unana.
All right.
That's so 2-1 for the Arsenal.
2-1 for the Arsenal. And that's all the games. Let's close it out.
So that's an episode. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you check out our content, our Instagram page, Rivals on the Pitch. Share and like our content. Download this episode. If you have any more Would You Rather situations, shoot it our way, and we'll probably bring them up in the next episode. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Give us some feedback.
Yeah.
Good luck to all those teams in the Europa League, mostly Tottenham. And see you guys next week. I'm Alan.
I'm Pat.
And I'm Randy.
Up the Arsenal.
Come on, you Spurs.
Woo woo. Choo choo.